hear my ideas? Never. And I knew I was safe. I didn't have to. He's very fun to work with. It's hard to say it with you sitting right here, but it's a little. He was asking me to jump off the high dive, and he was asking everybody to jump off the high dive, and he wasn't sure how we were going to land, but he knew we were going to, by hook or by crook. Yeah. We wouldn't finish until we did. And if I ever thought something was wrong or some other cast member, Stone's the first person to say, "What do you mean? Why do you think it's wrong? All right, let's do. What do you think? What would be funny?" And we also really like each other. So if he's not laughing, I'm not happy. You know. And so it was a fun set to go to because my job was. Here's the negative way of putting it. He gets bored so easily. And so you if it's boring, I could look. I see him on the monitor. And go, okay, this scene sucks. And he'd be like, yeah, do something else, you know. And
it's strange. It's like we were meant to work together, and we have such similar kind of like styles as far as blocking a scene goes, mm-hmm. and we're also not precious. Like once I write it, once it's down, it's like let's do whatever we can do to make this better.
Can I actually just ask you a follow-up for that? Like, you just casually mentioned similar styles of blocking a scene. Can you tell me what that means? Because there is a energy that is present in this episode and the following episodes where I love how Lee is like always moving through his space.
Can I go? Yeah. A lot of times
you can go whenever you want. By the way.
I'd be driving the set, and the first thing that comes to mind. There's a million things that come to mind, but I know that it's a scene where I have to like pitch my idea for the story to my editor, at the Heartland Press in the show, and I know I know that we're under time pressure, and I know that the DP is going to want me to sit there and the other person to sit there, and we can get this scene really fast because I'll sit there and I'm like, you know what? You can't sit down. Can't sit down. Can't sit down. Yeah. If I do sit down, I'm getting right back up. And that's going to make it such a pain in the ass to shoot. And I've got a history of making movies. I know what a problem that is as a director if an actor has an idea like that. Like I have to pitch this to Sterling the right way. And instead of doing it the right way, I come in and go, I can't sit down. And Sterling's like, you can't sit down. And then everybody else just has to roll with it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was interesting, like, because I don't know, like we would come on set, he'd say, yeah, I just don't feel like, I'm like, I know, like we gotta like, and we wouldn't even kind of finish the sentences. And then it would be like, let's just see what happens. We would do that a lot. Let's see what happens, And we start walking around and start saying the scene. Usually we sit down and start trying to read the lines, and then it's like, let's just get out. Well, what if you walked over here? And it was kind of like jazz in a way, we're improvising as we go. But it always meant something. It's not, like, I think that a lot of times people will look at a scene and it's like, okay, there's two people talking. Let's just have them talk. It's gonna be brilliant. We're gonna shoot it, it's gonna be brilliant. And it's not brilliant. Like, because you can also take those two characters sometimes, and I'm not saying I don't do that, but like you can take those two characters sometimes and get to some sort of other truth about the scene with the way that they move within the scene.
And you have a lot of experience now, and you know what smells like real life and what doesn't. I've never had this happen to me in my life. I'm doing a scene, and I, in the back of my mind, know that I know the difference between when Sterling is really turned on and when he's like thinking about what's not working.
Sure.
And
it gets real obvious.
Yeah. But so we're acting the scene, the cameras are rolling, and all of a sudden my director walks in to the shot. This is boring. It's almost like he's trying to smell what's fake. He's just standing there going, well, maybe go over there. What do you think? And then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I got it. I'm free. I was feeling trapped too, and once that happens, and it's so exciting. One time we were in the middle of doing a scene, and it wasn't in this episode, but Sterling had the idea. We just start shooting the scene, and Sterling's like, what if he's wearing the same hat you are, and it's bugging you? It's getting on
Yeah.
your nerves. And it takes like a normal scene and totally screws it up. Because we start doing the scene halfway through the thing. It's like, are you wearing my hat? He's like, well, it's not your hat, it's a hat. No, hats are my thing. And it's so weird and it doesn't make any sense, but it reminds me of like shit that happens with my friends. And so all of a sudden the scene smells
Yes.
real. Do you know?
And like, just, if I may, Michael, steal the story that you told the other day, I'm gonna do it. You're nodding. Yeah. Michael Hitchcock, everybody. I went up to him before a take of whenever they're in the estate cell, and I said, "You should slap Lee on the ass when you get like that." And like, it's like that stuff that I feel like, it's within the character, it's within the story. And Michael said that, that told him everything that he needed to know about their relationship.
Yeah.
And I think it does to an audience too, right? It's like, oh, they have history, they know each other, they flirt with each other, they mess with each other, they bug each other, whatever. There's all this stuff that's kind of cooked into it.
Yeah.
That kind of tells your history. And then, and similarly with Killer Mike, who is amazing. It's like first time ever. I mean, like, I love the familiarity that they have with each other. And they are just sitting across from each other, but it's like, the thing, I remember Ethan going, maybe I should just like try to sit in this, like, maybe I should sit here. And I was like, well, what if you sit there and then he kicks you out of it? It's like, it's great. It's like,
There's
it's
no
great
reason
moment.
for it, but it's just right. Get out of my barber chair. And then all of a sudden they know each other. And you're always hunting for those weird little behaviors that unlock character.
Yeah, I mean, we were just talking about All the President's Men upstairs. The scene where he's like, "Is there anywhere you don't smoke?" And it's like has nothing to do with Nixon, but you're like, "Oh, I totally understand the relationship."
That movie's a great example. That they play a lot of that movie in two shots and wide shots, and it's really great because you can see Hoffman and Redford's interaction.
Yeah.
So you actually watch them working together, and you don't feel manipulated, and the film has a great sense of realism that's really heightened, and you feel like you're in the room with them because they're good and their behavior is good, but that the director was willing to say that. Actually, what's interesting about the scene is the way they're sitting. That's communicating something. And a lot of people just they come in, they have a shot list in their head, and anytime an actor does anything weird, it's in the director's way, as opposed to how I view, which is trying to help.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you about how you go about creating, for lack of a better term, a vibe for a show. How much of what we just saw is, this is in my head, and I'm trying to get it out through music, through cinematography, through how I block a scene and how I get performances out of actors, versus you show up in Tulsa, you turn the cameras on, you have certain performers, and it's like lively, and you find it on the day, or you find it over the course of production.
I think there's some of that is like, you show up in Tulsa with the camera turned on, even though I don't show up in Tulsa, I live there, but like, it is in my head, is this vibe. I don't know, like I have influences. I've talked about The Long Goodbye. We talked a lot about The Long Goodbye and Killing of a Chinese Bookie and like, Drowning Pool and all these, The Big Lebowski and all of these things. And I don't know, it's what I see in my head, let's say that. But I also got really good, I'm really grateful for, I think of it as like Altman or like Sidney Lumet or someone when Altman was doing a lot of TV directing, and he, you're able to make mistakes.